Good evening and welcome to Monroe Central football. Tonight, your Seminoles return home with a record of 7-1 and take on the Frontier Cougars, having one of their best seasons in quite some time with a record of 6-2. This is Jeff Stevens along with Matt Singleton and Dale Eddy, ready to bring you another exciting night of Monroe Central football. Well, Matt, after a pretty rainy day, the skies have cleared. I think maybe we'll stay dry, but I think this field is really taking a hit from all the rain today.
Well, yeah, think about this, Jeff, everybody says with the wet field, keep it on the ground. And the thing about this, Frontier, does have a pretty strong ground game. So I'm kind of interested to see what we're going to have here as far as what Monroe Central is going to do right off the bat. It's going to be a good game and good night for football.
As seems to be the case every week, the Seminoles will receive. Usually what happens is if the Seminoles win the toss, they elect to receive. It seems like if the other team wins the toss, they defer to the second half. So it seems like Monroe Central always gets the ball first, and that's going to be the case tonight. Also joined by Andy Shoemaker tonight, so if you hear a little scuffling going on here, it's probably because three of us are fighting over two microphones. Tyler Graham, Gabe Gordon, and Aaron Brown deep from Monroe Central. And we are just ready to get underway. Don Lutz is the kickoff man. He gets it to the 15-yard line where Aaron Brown gets right up the middle.
Oh, yeah!
Across the 50.
Yeah!
He's the 40.
Oh, Brown dog!
Well, we haven't broken one for a touchdown on a punt or kickoff yet this year, Matt. But that one was really close. A great return by Aaron Brown.
I'll tell you, he took it right up the gut, and the kickoff return team did a heck of a job picking up their blocks, and Aaron just basically took it up the middle and tried to break around the end. Of course, the only guy left was the kickoff man. So nice return by Aaron Brown.
Monroe Central will put the ball in play at the Frontier 36-yard line. Ishii in the shotgun. Ferguson is the motion man. Snap a little high. Ishii will run. Has running room. Cuts back into the middle. Ishii will have about 8 or 9 yards on what was very nearly a broken play. They'll mark him down at the 27, 28-yard line.
That's one thing that they haven't had too much of a problem this year with that shotgun snap, but first playoff scrimmage, a little bit high, and of course Josh not being really that tall anyway, thank God he can, jump pretty high.
Brown will be the wing left, Gordon and Ferguson in the backfield. Gordon's first carry will be good for a first down and more to the 20-yard line. So a couple of 8-yard runs on the first two plays from scrimmage. Along that offensive front for the Seminoles, we have Eddie McConnell, Curtis Merrick, Chris Jeffers, Sean Adey, and also see Chad Burkhart, along with Dan Miller and Sam Miller now at the double tight end.
I'll tell you, Jeff, the first couple of plays looks like Monroe Central's kind of handling the big boys up there in the middle against Frontier. They are pretty good size.
Aaron Brown gets his first carry from scrimmage. Not much going. Number 40 breaks through there. That is Danny Reed. That's a name we'll probably call quite a bit offensively as he is their Frontier starting fullback. Brown will get a yard. Second and 9. Looking out at the Cougars on defense, we do not see their starting quarterback as a defensive player, number 2, Anthony Mossberg. We're still unsure whether he is playing or not. He was warming up with the team prior to the game. Ishii again, shotgun. Jefferson snap back to him is good. Ishii follows his blockers straight up to about the 12-yard line.
He's close to another first down.
Looks like maybe a yard short, third down and a yard. Kenny Robinson was in for that play, now checks out in favor of Sam Miller and the double tight end. Wing to the right. This is Gordon. Bounces the outside. To the corner of the end zone. Gabe Gordon, 12 yards, touchdown. Less than 3 minutes into the game. Seminoles on top.
I tell you, Jeff, that was a real good job by Gabe there. He saw that the hole closed up, pretty quick, and he saw that his end had basically handled his block and just bounced to the outside, and good run by Gabe.
Curtis Merrick will attempt the extra point. He's been successful in 17 extra point kicks this year. Josh Ishii is the holder. Jeffers the snap. Kick looks good and is good. 9 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the first period. Monroe Central on top, 7-0. Well, any game, Matt, especially a game against a team that has a very strong record, but at the same time, a team that the Seminoles have dominated over the years, to come out and get a quick score. Very important from the Frontier standpoint that they produce something now in their first possession, because if they have to give the ball up in a hurry and allow the Seminoles a second touchdown, that thought has to be on the far side of the field. Yep, here we go again.
Well, I tell you, Frontier losing 2 games this year. One being to Powerhouse Shenandoah, and the other one being last week against a real good Shadyside team. Not beating the bush or anything, but they do have a real good football team. It's kind of, they've had a lot of bad happenings here in the past week or two with some injuries and kids getting kicked off the team. So it's kind of interesting to see how they're going to bounce back.
Merrick's kick goes to the 10-yard line. Still on his feet is the return man. That is Logan Smith. He bounced off a couple of people before finally going down at the 30-yard line. I see David Spielman, Dan Miller.
Looks like the hardest hit there was by his own teammate.
That's exactly it. But he's able to get back out to the 30-yard line. That may be the toughest yardage that he's had to pick up in a while. But call it the 32-yard line is where Frontier will take over. And their quarterback is number 2, a junior, Anthony Mossberg. He is a lefty, and he's a good one. A stacked eye. Some pressure on. They'll give it to the tailback, Amos.
Looks like Dan Miller in there.
That play is going to go for negative yardage, a loss of a couple yards. As you say, Matt, I believe Dan Miller was the first man there. A lot of people maybe don't realize this, but Dan Miller and Sam Miller, up until they were in 7th grade, attended school in the Frontier School District. Their dad at that time was a teacher at one of the elementary schools there, and they attended elementary school with a lot of these young men from Frontier. So maybe a little extra incentive for Dan and Sam to perform well in this football game. Mossberg's first throw. Knocked down by Gabe Gordon.
Gabe Gordon, nice play. That's one thing you always tell your defensive players, Jeff, is if you can't get in there, get the quarterback on the sack, keep your hands up as you're going in and have a chance to bat the ball down. That's exactly what Gabe did.
And we saw a good example of that last week with Stephen Habig. He get his hands up and making an interception.
It's nice to have those tall kids out on the end. And
I still remember John Michael Spielman last year from that defensive end position, knocking down lots of passes, doing a great job. 3rd down and 12. They'll give the ball to the fullback, I believe. That is number 40 is Danny Reed. He's going to get a yard or two to get back to near the original line of scrimmage, maybe bring up 4th down and about 11. So another solid defensive stand by the Seminoles on their first defensive possession. Don Lutz, big young man, 6'6", back in punt formation. You look for him to be the intended receiver. He is Frontier's leading receiver. He gets a kick away, kind of a wobbler over to the right side. He's going to hit and go nowhere on the soggy turf. Be downed by Jake Amos of Frontier at the 38-yard line. And that's where the Seminoles will take over for their second possession. Already leading in this game 7-0, 7:43 remaining in the first quarter.
I tell you, you look out, across the field on the Frontier side, Jeff, and just by looks-wise, it seems like they got nice-looking athletes out there.
And a lot of their good athletes are juniors. Many of those kids in their third year as starters, having started as freshmen. And this team of Frontier made the playoffs last year and having hopes of doing so again this year, but probably needing to win one of their last two games. Gordon, not much this time. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. We see on the offensive front, Daniel Fankhauser is now in at the left tackle position for the Seminoles. Daniel got quite a bit of action last week. There's Eddie McConnell was out and in because of a sprained ankle.
Yeah, I think they're the last series on offense, Jeff. I saw Eddie come off the field limping. So
maybe that ankle injury has kind of flared up on him again.
Yeah.
Which will also hurt the Seminoles defensively because McConnell being the middle guard. Aaron Brown, the outside, running room, first down across midfield.
Nice run.
Pulled down on the far side by Vinegar.
I'll tell you, Jeff, really, pound for pound, you can't really say enough about Aaron, the way he's running the ball. And, he's making some key blocks out there, and he's doing a heck of a job out there defensively this year, too. So it's not like, that Frontier has, a key player to key on, because you can't key on, Brown, you can't key on Ishii, you can't key on Gordon, when you got a triple threat like that.
Out of the wishbone, I believe this is Tyler Graham. His first carry, he's going to be to the 46-yard line, pick up about 3 yards. Now, I'll tell you what, Matt, I don't know if you had a chance to be out here Monday night and see the JV game against Barnesville. Both teams undefeated. Monroe Central, after falling behind, come back and won the game 29-28. That's an outstanding football game, JV or otherwise, and Tyler Graham had just a superb football game with 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing and 2 receiving, being a touchdown pass from both the sophomore quarterbacks. And it's a nice game. Josh Ishii, quarterback sneak, big gain. Don't see that a whole lot.
No. I'll tell you, you mentioned there just a second ago, Jeff, about Tyler Graham. He's a junior this year, if I'm not mistaken, and this is his first year out for football. And he's stepped up and he's done a heck of a job this year, varsity-wise and especially reserve-wise.
Nearly 20 yards by Josh Ishii on that quarterback sneak. That's a freedom that Ishii does have as quarterback when he reads those linebackers going to the outside. He can audible at the line into a quarterback sneak, and that was probably the case there. And a very good call as he gets about 20 yards, giving Seminoles another first down now at the 27-yard line. Ishii's first pass going deep for Brown.
It's a touchdown!
Touchdown!
Yeah!
27 yards, Josh Ishii to Aaron Brown. So just like that, 4 minutes after their first score, Seminoles on the board once again. Aaron Brown, a 27-yard reception from Josh Ishii. 13-0. Merrick on to attempt the point. A lot of people on that Frontier side of the field have to be just shaking their heads, Matt. Merrick's kick is up. They say good. Right through there. 5 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in period number 1. And Monroe Central scoring on both their initial possessions. They lead 14-0.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, Jeff. Seems like every so often, every other year, maybe every 3 years, Frontier always comes in saying, "This is our year, beat Monroe Central." And I've worked out the plant, and you get guys in there and say, "Hey, this is the year." And we've been playing them since, I think, 1968, give or take. And, they haven't beaten us yet. And it's, it seems like the kids from from Monroe Central, they always say, well, can't let them beat us this year. So it's like basically it's a bigger game than what people think it is.
Right. Nobody wants to be, especially a senior class, does not want to be that first team to be a part of that. But two nice drives. But a lot of time left. We've only played half of the first quarter. Let's not count the Frontier Cougars out of this game yet.
No.
Good sign here as the offense getting 2 scores in 2 possessions. I know there's been some concern the last 2 or 3 weeks, second half last week, and some people wonder what happened to the offense. Well, sometimes you have to give the other team's defense some credit. Amos at the 5-yard line, across the 20, 25, breaks a tackle, be brought down by
81
David Spielman. So now a decent return out to about the 32, 33-yard line. Go back one other moment to anybody that was at that JV game on Monday night. You might notice there are 3 of the officials here tonight on this varsity crew. We're here for the JV game. The back judge, the umpire, which is behind the defensive line, and the linesman on the far side were here Monday night. The head official is Jack Prettyman. Mossberg wants to throw. Under some pressure. He's hit by Gordon and not real sure where he's throwing the ball. They say incomplete.
I didn't see a receiver within about 15 yards of that ball.
He had Gordon bearing down from one side, had Stephen Habig coming from behind. And you mentioned before there, we see Eddie McConnell is down on the bench here with ice on his sore ankle, and that's going to move Merrick into that middle guard position and line Stephen Habig now up as a defensive tackle. Ryan Ferguson is the defensive end on the far side. They come right at him, and Ferguson will help turn that play back in, get some help from 80 along with Sam Miller and Gordon. That is Benninger. He'll have a couple of yards. Cougars have now run 5 plays from scrimmage, having a net of 1 yard. Ball at the 35-yard line, 3rd down and 8.
Well, that's the thing about Frontier. They do have some decent-sized running backs back there with Reed and Benninger.
Especially the fullback. He goes about 250.
Yeah.
That's number 40, Reed. Got your fog lights, Matt? The fog's starting to roll in on us a little bit here. Mossberg wants to throw. Going deep. This is for Lutz against Robinson.
Interception!
Kenny Robinson wins that battle. Interception by Robinson.
I tell you, Kenny has been, as far as defensively this year, last year he came on offensively, and this year seems like he's come on more defensively than he has offensively. So
he's really made a lot of progress in his first year as a regular defensive back. A lot to learn back there. But that's Lutz at 6'6" and Robinson at 6'4", and good position by Robinson, and he wins that battle with the interception.
And I'm sure they probably play against each other in basketball too, don't they?
And got a couple more outings here come December and January. But that's way down the road. Ishii hands off to Gordon. He's going to be near the 40, about the 39-yard line. He's going to have a good 6, maybe 7 yards. Jeremy Dye is the leading tackler for the Cougars. He's number 50. As this game goes along, some of the Frontier numbers on the white jerseys will probably get real difficult to make out. Cougars in a 4-man front with 4 linebackers. Second back is Brown. He'll spin. Short gain, maybe the first down, very close.
It's awful close. They're calling a first down, Jeff.
They didn't even take a look at it. First down. Since this game's got to be 14-0 pretty quick here, looks like the officials are going to try to keep things moving here.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Wishbone, Robinson split. Ishii looking that way, throws it up for grabs. Robinson.
Well,
incomplete. Nice job defensively.
As I say, he doesn't win that one right there. It's good defensive play.
Number 42 is Logan Smith. He's a 6-foot senior. but he had good inside position, such as Robinson did just a couple moments ago on the Frontier pass play. 2nd down 10. That's a good time to go for the big play and throw it up, and very similar to the play last week where Robinson went up and made that very important catch for what looked like just another touchdown, but was a very important touchdown as the way things developed last week.
Issue in the shotgun.
They'll look to throw again. Quick out, far side. Robinson juggling and does make the reception. Short gain. He's going to be to about the 46-yard line. Pick up about 4. 3rd down and 6. Quite a bit of fog moving in off the pond there down toward the scoreboard. And you can tell this the dampness in the air here is this desk that we're using and our program and papers here are damp and may become a little difficult to write here as the evening progresses. We may have to put Andy in charge of that back here to get us some dry paper. Pitch, Brown trying to get outside. Footing's not real good, but a pretty nice play there by the defender. That's Logan Smith, who broke up the pass play a couple moments ago. And he's going to get Aaron Brown for a loss of a yard, maybe 2 on the play, back to the 45-yard line. And after 2 scores, their first 2 possessions, Monroe Central now will punt the football away. David Spielman, who has an average for the year of about 35 yards a punt, has done an excellent job. Somewhere in that fog is Amos and someone else. Jake Amos will take the ball on the 25-yard line. Slip down as he tries to get to the outside.
Gets up to about the 30.
Just about the 30-yard line. You know, in all my years of attending football games here at this field, Matt, and you've quite a few before, I don't think I've ever seen fog, at a game here. Times on the road we've run into some fog occasionally, but I'm not sure that I've ever seen fog, here. Of course, there's been unusual weather here over the last few months. They'll mark Frontier down here at the 29-yard line to start their next possession. 1:34 remaining in period number 1. They give Mossberg straight ahead to his fullback. That is probably Reed, number 40.
Yeah.
And he'll be out to about the 33-yard line. Pickup of about 4 yards.
Second down, 6. Ball on the 33, and 4 yards.
And there's no air moving, so I'm not sure how that fog's going to move out of here.
It's hanging pretty low right now.
1 minute remaining in the quarter. Monroe Central already leading 14-0. They'll give to their tailback, I believe that is Amos. I don't think he even made it back to the line of scrimmage. Gordon is the last man up for the Seminoles. 3rd down and 6.
We just had Tyler Graham checking in and Stephen Habig checking out, so.
And that's good for that extra defensive back in a probable passing situation.
Yeah, probably
now.
a 4-4 defense.
Amos is the leading rusher for Frontier, as he and Reed both are over 400 yards for the year. 3rd down and 6. They have a receiver wide to the right. Mossberg looking that way. Nice catch and a pitch.
That's the old flea flicker.
The ball was caught by number 3, Austin Russell. He tried to pitch it back to Amos on the old hook and ladder play. And what that did, I believe, is probably cost the Cougars a first down.
Well, it
They'll look at it.
He caught the ball about to run the 40-yard line and pitched it back and lost probably about 2 yards on that.
He took quite a hit there. I'm not sure what the Seminole, who that was that made the play, but it was a pretty good hit. They're going to bring the chains in here and measure this prior. And while they're doing this, we'll go ahead and take our first quarter timeout. At the end of 1, Monroe Central 14, Frontier nothing.
FW Shoemaker Insurance Agency celebrating 100 years of service to our community. FW Shoemaker is an independent agency representing many reputable companies for all of your insurance needs. Only the most professional agencies represent Westfield Insurance. The best of the best are recognized as Westfield Platinum agencies, and FW Shoemaker is proud to be a Platinum agency. FW Shoemaker Insurance and the Monroe Central Seminoles, 2 winning traditions. No matter what the weather is, you can work out year-round at Transforming Physiques. For your convenience, new owner Kristen Rossiter has extended the hours. Students have the opportunity to work out before school, after school, or on Saturdays. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, come out at 6 a.m. and get your exercise in before going to work. Adult, student, and family memberships are available. They now have 2 tanning beds and stock the best of tanning supplies. Stop out to see a large variety of sports drinks, diet bars, supplements, vitamins, and sports attire. Now is the time to start transforming your physique.
Well, Jeff, looks like the clock says 4th and 1, but I think it's a little bit more than 1.
Yeah, the measurement did show Frontier well short and already trailing 14-0 here on the first play of period number 2. Cougars will go for it. They have nothing to lose. Mossberg with the flag down.
And he stopped short.
And I think the whistles maybe stopped the play. And it is a dead ball, a legal procedure call on the first penalty of the game. It will go against Frontier, and that was whistled and stopping the play, so Frontier will now be at 4th and 6. And now their coach, and their coach is Russ Morris, will opt to send in the punting team on 4th and 6. And quite a job that Coach Morris has done down there at Frontier, turning that program around and making them a very solid team and hoping for their second consecutive playoff berth. But Don Lutz will be the punter as the fog has temporarily lifted. Under pressure, it's a short kick where Ishii will take it to 40. Step away from a couple people.
Get outside!
Points out a couple blockers. He's across the 30, going to the outside. And this is not going to count. Jack Prettyman just throws the flag way back. He threw the flag about 20 yards from where he was standing. And Ishii's into the end zone, but it's not going to count.
Well, most likely it's a clip.
Well, none of the other officials making the call, but Jack Prettyman now positions his flag for a clip at the 35-yard line. And you can maybe hear the reaction from Seminole fans down below. Not much from this point from the coaching staff on that play.
Well, if the coaching staff, if they saw that it was, it was against us and it was a good call, then they won't say anything.
So Andy and I last week looked at a couple things that the Barnesville fans were hooting and hollering about, and we looked immediately down at the Barnesville coaching staff and saw, they weren't reacting at all, and that usually tells you that, it was there and the coaches saw it. But this backs the ball up past the 50 now to the Monroe Central 49-yard line. And ball ready for play now as the officials get realigned. And that, it just said earlier there, we have not broken a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown, and Ishii doing a nice job there, but as seemed to happen to Josh quite a bit last year, every time he made it to the end zone on a big return, there was a flag.
Yeah.
This is Gordon. He'll get across the 50 to about the 47-yard line, pickup of near 4 yards.
I tell you, Monroe Central offensive line isn't doing too bad of a job in there against those big boys from Frontier, being outweighed. Not too bad of a job.
That's a 47-yard line now, second down and 6. They're just starting period number 2. Monroe Central leading 14-0. Brown, the outside. Someone with the hand around his ankle. Now Aaron surging forward, trying to get that first down. He's going to be just short. They'll mark the ball at the 42, 43-yard line. 3rd and 2. We'll see how much the Seminoles choose to go to the air. I think as last week proved, Matt, you have to play and throw the ball and do things through the first half. With that big touchdown right before halftime. We get some movement along the defensive front, and then Sean 80 reacted to that movement.
Kind of interesting to see how they're going to call it.
Yeah, was the Frontier players in the neutral zone first, or was their movement legal? As the officials will talk about it. I say Jack Prettyman is the official in the white hat out of the OVAC. And you always wonder what's going to happen when you get officials together to talk for this long. And they decide it is encroachment against the defense. Some groans from the far side of the field. But as we said, Matt, I believe that the Frontier defensive lineman probably was in the neutral zone prior to the offensive movement by Monroe Central.
Yeah, I think he even made contact, Jeff.
That's 7 first downs by my count already for the Seminoles. This first down taking the ball by penalty to the 37-yard line. Ishii to Gordon. Not much by Gabe Gordon here. Number 60 is David Smith. He's one of those big linemen Matt just talked about at 232 pounds making that play. New footballs in on every play here tonight. We're going to give Taylor Joris a good workout tonight. No gain by Gordon. Second down and 10.
Ishii back in the shotgun.
We get some motion. This is Ferguson in motion. Ishii going to run the keep. Trying to get outside. Runs by a couple people before out of bounds near the 26. And from where the official has marked this, I would say that is another first down. And that is the case. Josh Ishii with some nice runs here in the early going. 46 yards rushing for Ishii, along with a touchdown pass. And a punt return that didn't count.
Oh, I tell you, yeah, being a player, you get a touchdown or a punt return, for a touchdown call back, that really.
Well, I think a lot of people don't know. I think, at this point in the season, all players banged up. And, Josh maybe, a few bumps and bruises here, as with all the Seminoles. Gordon to the 25. And at this point, too, you start thinking about playoff games, Matt, where the teams get to ask for what films they want, and usually the teams will ask for that last 3 games. So here's an opportunity to show a few things there just to give that future opponent something to think about.
Yeah, but then again, on the other hand, Jeff, you don't want to show them too much.
Exactly.
If you can win with the basics and save your big big time plays,
Yeah, you like to have a little something in reserve to bring out at that time. Slot to the right with Robinson wide. Ishii, this is option. Pitch to Brown. Not much going there. Jake Amos comes up and makes the big hit in the backfield.
Looks like he's sacked for about a 2-yard loss on that.
And that play just didn't look real good from the start there. As Ishii maybe was a little deeper than you would like to see on that. Bring that back for a loss of 2 on the play, 3rd and 10. Possible passing down. 2 more plays, though, to make the 10 yards that you need. Ball at the 26. Ishii dropping to throw, has some pressure. Trying to get the ball in the general direction of Gordon, but that's a nice job by Ishii getting away from the pressure. Number 54 is Corey Creighton.
Number 11 and number 4 respectively.
Jake Amos and Don Lutz, coming hard, but Ishii able to stay away and throw the ball out in the general direction. I think maybe a Frontier player had a hand on it, but where nothing bad could happen, give yourself that 4th down now to make the play. 7:40 remaining in the first half. 4th and 10. Ball at the 26, maybe closer to the 27-yard line.
I think it's a good call going for it here on 4th down. Where our defense has been playing, I don't think we have anything to lose here.
Too close to punt. Ishii to throw. Across the middle, the ball is deflected. He's looking in the direction of Robinson. Now there's a flag down, Matt, but this flag will be picked up because the ball was tipped. And that will be an incomplete pass, and Frontier will take over on downs. So that is incomplete. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage,
That's a good
so
call.
that there is no pass interference. And that is an excellent call by the officials. The back judge throwing the flag there, not seeing the tip, but the other officials coming and helping out. So a good call by the officials. So Frontier will take over now at their own 26-yard line as Monroe Central, after scoring their first 2 possessions, now have failed to score in their last 2. Yeah, Matt, Andy said that was tip.
Yeah, we already said that, Andy.
So he had to spot for a couple plays because otherwise we'd have to run him out of here.
I tell
There's
you,
a tackle for a loss
nice play
by
in there by
Stephen Habig, it looks
yes. So it looked like about maybe a 3 or 4 yard loss there. Well,
Back
at
to-
least we know Andy's doing his job tonight. I mean,
Back to the 23-yard line. If anything you will say, Andy, just speak right up. Mossberg to throw.
Oh!
And a misread there as his receiver broke to the inside. Mossberg throwing it to the outside. If Ishii was 6'6", I think he could have made that play.
Yeah, taking in for a touchdown.
3rd down and 14. We watched the Frontier quarterback Mossberg prior to the game throwing there, and he still seemed to be rather gimpy, on that right ankle. And he's a young man that, part of his game is the running, and we have not seen him run yet tonight, and very possible that will not happen, as that would tell me his ankle is still a little sore. Hey, he's going to get a rush here because Ferguson pulls him down.
Nice job, Fergie. Nice job.
That's going to be back at they're going to mark him around the 15-yard line, 14-yard line, it appears. A loss on the play and the sack by Ryan Ferguson. And Frontier will once again be forced to punt the ball, as that possession was going to lose about 12 yards for the Cougars. It'll be 4th down and 22. And Mossberg now limping to the sideline and aggravating that ankle injury as he was sacked by Ferguson. But you can see the competitiveness of the young man there, Matt. He, trying to keep his feet and trying to get away there, and just, not able to get away and turning that ankle once again. So,
well, I tell you, he's a good kid. And he's a tremendous athlete.
So unfortunately, we've had 2 reoccurrences of ankle injuries. Monroe Central's Eddie McConnell going out early in the game, and now Frontier's Anthony Mossberg, with re-injuring sore ankles. Don Lutz to punt. This ball will hit about the 40. Seminoles backing away. Sam Miller, I'm not sure what Sam's doing there, but fortunately the ball didn't bounce up and hit him. And believe me, that will be pointed out somewhere real soon,
Yeah,
Matt.
sure it will.
Don't run across the football like that.
No, you stay as far away from him as you can when ball hits like that. And I'm sure Coach Greg will have a little talk with him about that.
So right now, Monroe Central will get this possession in the Frontier territory at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. 14-0, 5:48 remaining in the first half. This is Jeff Stevens along with Matt Singleton and Andy Shoemaker. That is pickup of 3 yards on the play.
Aaron
Brown. 46-yard line for Aaron Brown. Robinson in, Dan Miller out. But you sure like to see one more score in here before halftime, Matt.
Well, I think Monroe Central probably is going to try to drive it down the field.
Sean Joris gets a carry across the 45 to about the 43-yard line. pickup of a couple. Maybe 3 yards by Joris. Ball at the 44-yard line, 3rd and 4. 4.5 minutes remaining before half. Fake to Gordon. Ishii trying to get the outside on the keep. He's tripped from behind by Lutz. He's going to lose a couple of yards, and that's 4th down. And again, the Seminole offense unable to move. Good play by Lutz from his defensive end position for Frontier. 4th down and about 6. The ball at the 45-yard line. See what the Seminoles are going to do here. David Spielman is on the field to punt. Amos and Russell deep for Frontier. Kicks away. It's a good kick. Amos will take the ball at the 10-yard line. A big block. Amos breaking the tackle. He's out near the 15-yard line where Ferguson slows him down. He'll get help from Brown. We have a Seminole down. It was Chris Jeffers, who took a big hit from a Frontier player on the block, is shaken on the play. And hopefully that's just Chris with just the wind knocked out of him. Coach Acosta, I know at the time, he feels that that's a clip. And he's letting the official know that after having a clip called previously there. And that really upsets you as a coach, Matt. You've been there before when you see what you think is a clip and it results in an injury to a player.
Well, I agree with you there, Jeff. It's kind of hard for all the officials to see or to keep an eye on every player and what they do that goes on down there. But like you said, Jay's out there and he's complained about that call when just before Monroe Central was called for one. I think he has a legitimate complaint.
And from here, I can't say yes it was or no it wasn't. We'll look at that on the replay, and that's.
Well, it looked to me like they always say if your head's in the front and on his chest is not a clip. And to me, it looked like his head was on his shoulder, or in his back. And
we sure hope that Chris is okay for one. Just we hate to see anyone injured, but also that's your starting center, and your backup center normally is Robbie Demmerling, who is out and not in uniform. So now, again, some shuffling around. You also already have a backup lineman in Daniel Fankhauser playing because of the injury to Eddie McConnell. So, some offensive line shuffling may be necessary here. But, as Dr. Seidler and Patrick and Winter Dixon, go to the sideline here with Chris, as he's holding his hip and his back. So
exactly.
Obviously there's some contact on the back.
Exactly.
Matt.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
can't argue with that. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So Mossberg is back in. His injury obviously was not serious, and he's able to shake that off now. 3:32 before halftime. Mossberg slipping down as he hands off. A pile of Seminoles there. Dan Miller on top of that pile. Ball carrier, I believe, is Amos, number 4. Give him a couple of yards. Now under 3 minutes. Second down and 8. Mossberg looking to throw. Complete. This is Amos, who was split out very near the first down. He may be just short. Tackled by Gordon and Ishii.
I was just getting ready to say, Jeff, I can't see with Monroe Central's defense, Frontier basically powering this football down the field. with just a little over 2 minutes left to go in the game. I think they're going to have to go to the pass with Mossberg's apparently his Achilles tendon being injured. I can't see them doing that, but I've been wrong before.
We'll take a close look here at this measurement. And just short by a foot or maybe closer to 2 feet. Third down now and about 2 feet for the first down. And unless I've missed one, Matt, I do not have Frontier with a first down yet in this game. Cougars with one turnover. Pass interception by Kenny Robinson. Third down. Clock now running 2:24 remaining before halftime. Mossberg hands to his fullback.
Wow. Well, I tell you, that's close.
That is Danny Reed. First down. He's going to have a couple of yards as his second effort got him a little more yardage than what first looked like. The initial contact, Matt, definitely was at the line of scrimmage or behind. But he's able to go forward. We did make a mistake last week, Andy. We talked about one first down there late in the game. The Seminoles did, in fact, have 2 first downs in the second half. They had a first down when they changed ends at the end of the third quarter. Somebody keeping stats missed that. This is Reed, the fullback. He's going to have another first down. So in successive plays, the Cougars with a couple of first downs. He's going to be across the 40, about the 41-yard line. The biggest offensive play of the game thus far for Frontier. That coming with now 1:30, clock running. Frontier does have all their timeouts.
I'm looking down here on the sidelines, Jeff, and Chris Jeffers has just gotten up now and he's getting on the cart. All right. Might be a bruised rib or, bruised hip or something.
Mossberg, a near big play. The ball off of Amos's hands as the defensive back Ishii bit on the first move, and Amos was streaking down the sideline open, the ball off his hands. Very wet, very cold, and not able to make the play. That could have changed the flow of this ball game quite a bit. Talk about, there that Chris Jeffers is headed to the locker room on the golf cart. There, Chris playing that offensive line position at center at 165 pounds, and that was back to 1st of August. I really doubt if Chris is still 165 pounds at this time. And hopefully they can get at halftime here, and he'll be able to come back the second half and perform. Here's Reed once again, the fullback. He's going to have about 7 yards. Maybe the Cougars think they found something here. Curtis Merrick is now that nose guard.
Monroe Central they are playing it kind of loose.
And Monroe Central is going to call a timeout. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a good point. Thinking pass it here, Matt.
And like you said, Jeff, that play before, if Amos would have caught that ball, that was possible 6 points right there.
You're looking at a possible 14-7 game at halftime, but that was not the case. The game of football, those things happen. And the Seminole defense an opportunity to make a stop now. Coach Sherman, Coach DaCosta deciding to call timeout here. I think Coach Singleton also maybe have a word with a couple of his defensive linemen here. But 55 seconds remaining in the first half. Frontier still is in their own territory. Third down and about 4 at the 47, 48-yard line. And you might say, well, why is Monroe Central calling that timeout when Frontier really didn't show any inclination to call that? Well, you need to get things together here.
You need to regroup every once in a while, Jeff.
I think that timeout is more important right now than anything to make because if you make a stop here on third down, then you will have kept the Cougars off the board during this first half. There's Amos diving straight ahead.
Picks up a first down.
Cougars with their third first down of this possession. About 5 yards. 50 seconds now remaining, clock running. And now Frontier will spend one of their timeouts. They lost about 4 seconds there prior to calling that timeout. But Frontier using their first of their 3 timeouts. And now, as was the case last week, Frontier probably in position to go to the air a little bit and try to get on the board.
That's the thing too, Jeff. I know, a few years ago, when you move the chains, the clock automatically stopped. They changed the rule when, the clock keeps on running.
It stops long enough for them to move the chains.
Yeah, which is, a few seconds. But Frontier, like you said, Frontier just lost 4 seconds right there, and that can make a big difference here in the first half.
Of course, the halftime show coming up here. That halftime show will be brought to you by McDonald's of Woodsfield. So I got that in, Dale, in case I forget it in a little bit then. You don't have to remind me. But just looking across the way, I do not believe the Frontier's band does not appear that they've made the trip tonight, or else I'm missing them. 1st and 10. Cougars now at the Monroe Central 47-yard line. Mossberg wants to throw. Across the middle. Amos again has another ball going off his hands.
That's, 2 right there in a row, Jeff, that he probably should have caught.
Which is a concern in that defensive secondary, that he has been able to be open a couple of times. 2nd and 10, 42 seconds remaining in the half. Spotter Andy Shoemaker points out that Mossberg having a lot of time to stand back there and throw.
Well, the best pass defense is a good, rush.
Spoken like a true defensive lineman. But, as we've said before, as Matt just said, that is an excellent point. Here's the fullback, Reed, once again. He'll get forward for about 5 yards. Timeout, Frontier. They should have 1 timeout remaining, 36 seconds remaining before half. We'll see if Monroe Central will loosen their secondary a little bit now, Matt, on this 4th and play. Well, scoreboard says 4th down, but I think it is just 3rd down. Yeah, it is 3rd down. Is the umpire there over the ball, Chuck Pascaline, making that signal that it is 3rd down and about 5. And the scoreboard now has been corrected. 2 receivers to the left of the Cougars. Mossberg dropping, looking that way, going deep once again. Oh! Intercepted. Kenny Robinson with his 2nd interception of the night. But the Seminole defense will make the play and now be able to run out the clock and take this 14-0 lead in. There is a flag on the play. It is against the Cougars and is obviously declined. Well, Kenny Robinson's 2nd interception.
Just watching that play, it's nothing against Mossberg, but instead of him throwing to the spot, he was thrown to the receiver, and the receiver broke right at the last moment. And thankfully Kenny was right there to make the interception.
Looked like Robinson had some running room down the sideline, but slipping as he started, and they'll put him down at the 25-yard line. But that's really, the yardage not real important. Sure would have been nice to see him take it all the way for a touchdown, but it's a little difficult to do from that end of the field. See what the Seminoles will do here with 28 seconds remaining. They'll give the ball to Gordon. They'll try to break to the outside, get about 9 yards. And Monroe Central going to use those timeouts.
Well,
I'll tell you what, Matt.
It's kind of interesting.
Well, doesn't do any good to take them to the locker room with you.
Well, that's true.
But from this end of the field, at their own 34-yard line, would not have been surprising, but we kind of thought maybe the Seminoles would run out the clock last week when they, from near midfield, and they went downfield and made the big play. So anything can happen. Monroe Central with 2 timeouts left, you get your first down and go downfield a couple plays.
I'm kind of interested about this next play.
Well, one would think that it would be something
out of the ordinary.
Out of the ordinary, since you've used a timeout. Now, but you need to get that first down. If this is 2nd and 1, this is the time the teams a lot of times will go deep downfield and try to make that big play. The coaching's a lot easier up here, Matt, than it is downstairs where you've been for years.
Yeah, it sure is.
18 seconds remaining in the half. Brown, he probably was able to get his first down at 13 seconds. A couple of yards. And I guess the decision was made during that timeout, Matt, to just take it in at halftime. And that could be a case of maybe one of the kids on the field calling timeout and not the coaches. Halftime, Monroe Central 14, Frontier nothing. Coming up, the Monroe Central Band, the halftime show brought to you by McDonald's of Woodsfield. We'll be right back.
For your convenience and peace of mind, Amera Drive by Stark offers teen driver education in these locations: Woodsfield, St. Clairsville, Wintersville, Martins Ferry, New Philadelphia, Marietta, Harrison Central, and Buckeye Local. 3 weeks of classroom study is held on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday evenings. State licensed and certified by the Ohio Department of Public Safety, Amera Drive has been teaching teens and adults to drive for 20 years. 8 hours of one-on-one behind-the-wheel instruction is scheduled at convenient times. Call Amera Drive by Stark at 1-800-YOU-DRIVE-2. For over 100 years, Bauer Turner Furniture has been serving our community with quality furniture and bedding. After a big day, kick back and relax in a dual recliner sofa, or choose from living room suites featuring couches with comfy armchairs or matching recliners. Then pick the perfect coffee table and tables and lamp to suit your personality. Of course, they stock bedroom furniture to please the country, traditional, or contemporary decorator. Kitchen tables and chairs, hutches, entertainment centers, and more can be delivered to your home this week. So stop by Bauer Turner Furniture today. The Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield, home-owned and independently operated since 1933. Your community bank. Our officers, directors, and staff are dedicated to customer and community service. We reinvest your deposit dollars locally. So remember, banking with us is not only good for you, but it's good for your community. Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. McDonald's of Woodsfield is not just great food and lots of fun, it's a vital part of our community. Perla and Dell strongly believe in supporting our kids, both in school and in extracurricular activities. That's why McDonald's is proud to be the exclusive halftime sponsor for the Monroe Central Seminoles. They're happy to support our players, our cheerleaders, and our band. After the game, celebrate at McDonald's of Woodsfield, where we love to make you smile.
Starting as a manager in 5th grade. He has participated in marching and pep bands for 6 years and concert band for 3 years. Also winter drumline and winter guard for 4 years, helping receive numerous awards and trophies over the years. The last 2 years, Justin has received the most outstanding in his class plaque, also receiving the Music and Leadership Awards. He's played basketball his freshman and sophomore years. Justin is a member of the Art Club, the French Club, the Key Club, Ohio Model United Nations, and drama clubs. He serves in Teen Institute and Dream Team for the prevention of drug and alcohol use. Last spring, he enjoyed playing Friedrich, the Sound of Music play, the first musical at Monroe Central High School. He is an active member of the Woodsfield Church of Christ, where he teaches on the Joy Bus and participates in the drama and youth activities. Justin is the secretary for the Young Democrats of Monroe County. He is also a Monroe County Junior Fair Board member and is the vice president of the Cross Country Classic 4-H Club. Justin has been chosen for the Who's Who among American high school students and National Honor Roll for the past 2 years. Justin plans to attend Ohio University, majoring in business and accounting. His most memorable moments are being part of our bigger bands, competing in fantastic shows, qualifying and performing on the state level 3 years in a row, and also the 4-hour bus trip to the date, and just hanging out with his friends, showing their spirit down near the river. Let's hear it for Mr. Justin Fairboard. I'd like to also thank his parents for their long dedicated service at Monroe Central High School. Thank you, Ron and Kathy.
Welcome to the 2003 Monroe Central Halftime Show. The band will be playing Pink Panther and Under the Sheet under the direction of Kristen Bollinger and Field Commander Megan Wilson.
McDonald's of Woodsfield is not just great food and lots of fun, it's a vital part of our community. Perla and Dell strongly believe in supporting our kids, both in school and in extracurricular activities. That's why McDonald's is proud to be the exclusive halftime sponsor for the Monroe Central Seminoles. They're happy to support our players, our cheerleaders, and our band. After the game, celebrate at McDonald's of Woodsfield, where we love to make you smile.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
When it comes to the regular maintenance of your Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury, come to the service department at Doane Ford. From oil changes and brake work to alignments and major repairs, the service department at Doane's has state-of-the-art equipment and factory-trained technicians to keep you on the road. And for all types of body work, remember, Doane Ford's Collision Center is a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
From a deck to a complete house, Woodsfield True Value has the lumber and building materials for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. Before you go out of town, bring your plans into Troy and Mike for a free estimate. We think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Delivery is available for your project materials too. From lumber and siding to shingles, windows, insulation, and cabinets, Woodsfield True Value is your source for building materials and building packages. So give Troy or Mike a call today at Woodsfield True Value. Since 1887, folks have trusted Woodsfield Savings Bank with their financial needs. So when you need someone to lead you with your financial decisions, come to the friendly folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank where customers count. Because of your busy schedule, we offer a drive-through and night deposit box, as well as convenient parking, direct deposit, and automatic payments. The folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank truly believe that making an investment in our kids brings the biggest return to our community.
Go Mo!
Okay, welcome back. It's, second half, Monroe Central versus Frontier. Monroe Central 14, Frontier nothing. I'm kind of interested, Jeff, here to see what happens second half. The last few weeks, Monroe Central's offense has kind of, sputtered here in the second half, especially last week after, being up, 19 points at halftime, coming out and, basically coming up with nothing in the second half.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks also, the Seminoles have really not run very many offensive plays, so the defense needs to get the ball back for the offense very quickly. Curtis Merrick to kick off to start the quarter. Number 44 is the return man. A couple of missed tackles, still on his feet, and not a real good start. That is Lance Benniger, but several missed tackles. Ishii ends up being one of the tacklers across the 40 to the 42-yard line. So now defense
Dudek missed a heck of a shot there. Bringing him down. There's a low kick, short kick, and Dudek coming in a little bit high. I think if he would have been a little bit lower, he probably would have made the tackle there.
Frontier had some success right prior to halftime with some running. I see Eddie McConnell has returned to the defensive line for the Seminoles. Amos, he'll be tackled by Merrick and Sam Miller, but a pickup of about 4 yards on first down by Jake Amos. He's a 160-pound junior, number 4, closer to 5 yards on 2nd and 5.
Jeff, I think we need to see a real strong defensive effort here in the second half, but to top that off, we need to see a strong offensive effort by the Monroe Central Seminoles. That wouldn't be Mr. Shoemaker, is it?
I think Mr. Shoemaker may be working on a little defensive line play.
Maybe he's taking him out in the back of the...
They're supposed to be building a house.
Yeah, taking him out in the back of the school and showing him a little bit of,
Third down and 5. Mossberg wants to throw. He has Lutz very near the first down, and it appears that he does have the first down. And they say, yes, it is a 5-yard pickup. Just the third completion by Frontier in the game, but it will be another first down. It's their fourth of the game. They had no first downs for almost the whole first half before getting 3 on their last possession prior to halftime. The Seminole defense really needs to make a play here and not allow Frontier to drive it down and score, and the Cougars to gain a little confidence. 14-0 halftime lead by Monroe Central. Here's their fullback Reed, who slips down and picks up about 3 yards. They're going to mark him back at the 45-yard line is where he first hit, a couple of yards.
Seems to me like Frontiers is basically wanting just to power it down the field, Jeff. I don't know if they're scared of, with Mossberg, being injured, of, him making a bad throw or, being injured even more, being maybe scrambling around. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but
they look to throw.
Back to pass.
He's going down and just a little high. Amos again. He had both linebackers, Sam Miller and Gordon.
Well, so far, I think on the passes, Jeff, Amos has been basically his main target.
And has been open a couple times. That would have been a very difficult catch. A little bit high and in traffic. 3rd down and 8. Frontier now 3 of 11, throwing the ball for just 18 yards. Third and 8, 9:21 left, third period. 2 receivers wide right. They'll give the ball to Amos. He'll get forward to the 40-yard line, a pickup of about 5. And I would say, Matt, that is an indication that they plan to go for it here on 4th down and 2 from the Monroe Central 40.
Well, I don't think they really have anything to lose, Jeff.
Again, as we mentioned earlier, Frontier is in an important 2 weeks as far as gaining the playoffs. They would appear to need to win 1 of 2 games that they have remaining in order to get to the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. Monroe Central in similar situation, needing to win 1 of 2, I feel, to guarantee themselves a playoff spot. 4th down and 2. Mossberg wants to throw. A quick look in is complete to Lutz against Robinson, but that ball is complete for about 4 yards, but that will be enough for a Frontier first down. And if for the 2nd possession in a row, Frontier really is showing some offensive confidence here and moving the ball. This is probably their deepest penetration of the game.
That's one thing you can't do with a team like this, Jeff, is give them confidence. Because they're a pretty good threat,
especially when it was 14-0, less than 7 minutes into the game. Mossberg going deep. The intended receiver is Austin Russell. Josh Ishii is the defender. The ball is overthrown.
Not a bad call on a first down, though.
Second down and 10. Just under 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. A little light fog rolling in from the pond behind the scoreboard.
I'm looking down the sidelines, Jeff, for Jeffers, and I don't even see him back out on the field.
It's good to see Eddie McConnell back in, though, defensively. There's an option pitch.
Nice defensive play.
Gordon's going to get credit for the tackle, but I tell you, Ryan Ferguson really turned that play back in and helped make it so that his linebacker could make that tackle back to the 41-yard line.
Ryan did exactly what he was supposed to do in that play. Make the back, turn it up inside, and let your linebackers come in and take care of the rest.
And here's Ryan Ferguson, who has never had a lot of experience until the last 3 weeks or so playing at defensive end position, and is going to only get better with each game.
Okay, Ryan's a good kid, good ball player. Not afraid to hit you, but one of them kind of kids that whatever you tell him to do, he'll do.
2 receivers wide right. Brown and Robinson are the defensive backs.
Oh!
Mossberg is going to be hit, and they'll now try to throw the ball There's going to be a flag on the play, as that's going to be
Mossberg's down again, Jeff.
a sack. Mossberg is injured once again. Ferguson and several other Seminoles were there to pressure, but again, under that heavy rush, Anthony Mossberg is down for the second time, and I'm not sure, as they talk to him, Matt, whether this is the same leg or ankle injury that he had.
Yeah, I think it was his right ankle, I think. And
the penalty on the play was intentional grounding. That's a loss of down.
It kind of makes you wonder, Jeff. Do you try to, bring him back in and take further risk on, injuring that ankle, or do you worry about the kid, or what do you do?
Coach Acosta and the official Jack Prettyman, a little more friendly conversation than we saw there earlier in the game. Mossberg is up, and it is again that right leg and ankle or Achilles tendon that has been bothering him, and just, again, you hate to see that. This young man's gutting it out and trying to.
But you got to give the kid credit for coming back in and week after week and trying, because he's been injured with that, for a few weeks now. So you got to give him credit for coming back in and trying.
The sack on the play is going to be a loss of 14 yards. And then a 5-yard penalty from that spot and a loss of down makes that a very crucial and a huge penalty for the offense, all the way back to the 40-yard line. That's going to be fourth down on the loss of down and 34 yards to go. Lutz will punt.
I see a nice return here, Jeff.
But the Seminole defense, with the sack, has done a good job. Lutz gets the kick away. It's very short. Wobbler is going to hit.
Get away from it.
A big hit. And it may have bounced up and hit a Seminole. But no, it didn't. But a block there, a big hit by a Frontier player, has kind of brought some life to the Frontier crowd across the way. But Monroe Central will now take over at the 34-yard line. Make it closer to the 33, 6-54. I'm not sure who took that hit.
Well, I didn't even see.
But now the Monroe Central's first possession of the third quarter, after scoring on their first two possessions of the game, touchdowns by Gabe Gordon and a pass reception by Aaron Brown.
Brown on the carry. He breaks it through. I'll tell you. Nice run.
He's nice run. First down.
Nice job by the offensive line picking up their blocks.
He's going to be down at the 45-yard line. 20 yards.
The spotter says 20 yards.
We'll look at this reconfigured offensive line here for the Seminoles. The center is John Rick, number 62. Eddie McConnell back on the offensive front. Brown and a flag down. That's in an area that probably will result in holding.
Yeah.
Or an illegal block. Not a lot of penalties in this game. Through the fall, Jack Prettyman says holding Monroe Central. And that will cost them 10 yards. The second Monroe Central penalty, if my count is anywhere near accurate. And put the ball down at the 45-yard line. Make it 1st and 20. With the midway point of period number 3. Seminoles will now get 3 receivers to the right, Robinson and Ferguson. And also Brown. Ishii rolling that way, now tucks it and wants to run. Not getting a lot of help there, as not able to find a receiver. Ishii will be back near the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd and 20. Sam Miller will now enter to replace Dan Miller. Robinson will split wide to the left. Ishii shotgun. Pulls it down, now tries to get the outside, runs away from a couple tacklers, has no blocking help over here on a broken play. He's going to get 10, close to 12 yards to make it 3rd and 8. That's just pure athleticism and speed.
Exactly. Nice little pickup there by Josh Ishii.
It really looked like maybe he was ready to throw the ball, and the ball possibly, which has to be very wet, slipping in his hands, but he was able to tuck it under and make something positive happen, and that was a gain of 12, which turns a 2nd and 20 into a 3rd and 8. But that ball has to be getting very wet. But I will say that this field really looks like it's holding up fairly well. Some readjustment as Brown and Ferguson now get over to the left side. That's a formation we saw last week with a big pass play to Robinson. Ishii tucks it under, wants to run, breaks a couple tackles, stays on his feet. He's going to be short of the first down.
Nice effort, Josh. Nice effort.
He's going to get about 5 yards, which is going to bring up about 4th and 3. That's a short 3, maybe Matt closer to 2. Seminoles need just across the 35-yard line. Almost too close to punt. And I think a very easy call here to go for it on this 4th and about 3 from the 37-yard line. Ferguson in motion. Ishii, quarterback sneak.
He's close.
Seminoles pointing first down. Cougars jumping that they have stopped the play. Officials stopping the clock to take a look.
That might call for a motion here, Jeff.
Ishii's going to get right at 3 yards, but did he get enough?
Yeah, he got a first down.
They'll not even need to bring the chains in. Jack Prettyman says first down and starts the clock immediately. We're near 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Well, once again, Matt, that's probably a checkoff by Josh Ishii at the line. With motion, I'd say, and Andy can probably will agree or disagree, it was probably going to be a power left to Gordon, was the original call. Nope, Andy says no. Maybe a called sneak. A first. Ishii trying to force the ball in.
He's having a hard time even, gripping that ball. You can tell by the way he threw it, he basically palmed it, because it's so slippery.
And trying to force that ball into Dan Miller, but I think you're exactly right, Matt, just the grip. And he's kind of looking at his hands as he comes over to Coach DeCosta for the play. And I'd say just, at this point in time, that ball is very, very wet and just not able to grip it real well.
I'd say he's probably going to try to keep it on the ground basically from here on
out.
out.
Offensive line now consists of McConnell, 80, Rick, Merrick, and Burkhart. Shotgun, Ishii.
Nice move,
making
Josh.
some moves.
Nice move.
Flag in the backfield, though, and we've got a Cougar on the ground. Holding is going to be the call, and that Cougar is Don Lutz, and he's on his feet. But the officials are going to say bring that play back. About 15-yard pickup by Ishii is going to be penalized. The second Monroe Central holding call on this possession. It'd be interesting to know, again, what is happening, because I tell you, there's been a lot of games this year, especially against teams that throw the ball a ton. It seems like we never see a holding call. And now tonight we've seen 2 holding calls here in succession. And that's 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, Matt, which the penalty occurred in the backfield. So it's second and about 23 back at the 48-yard line. Ishii wants to throw. Screen for Gordon. a short gain, and Gordon takes a big hit as he goes down. Pickup of about 5 yards. Linemen are allowed downfield on a screen pass when you catch it behind the line of scrimmage, but the linemen, as Andy points out here, were way downfield. And
over anticipation for as far as the lineman's part.
But 5-yard pickup's going to create a 3rd down and 18. Monroe Central will call a timeout. I think it's very important here to to get the right play after getting a 1st down inside the 35-yard line, and then having a penalty. Again, hoping for a good offensive possession to start the 3rd quarter. If anything good has happened, it's taken a lot of time off the clock, but I know you just don't like to continue to sit on 14 on that scoreboard.
Well, the thing about it is, though, Jeff, right now, to be honest with you, the officials should have a towel over that ball, keeping the wetness off. But whenever it rains, they always put a towel over the ball, and with as slick as the ball is now, they should probably have a towel over that ball to keep it dry.
There's a lot of moisture in the air, as we can tell from our table and chairs here up top the press box. It is very damp. You can see a little bit of fog, I would say, in your screen there. I'm not sure how well you're able to tell, watching here on TV, but there's a lot of fog, a lot of moisture. Seminoles going to come out now in a spread formation with Gordon will center the ball. Ishii going to get the ball out to Gordon. There's an eligible receiver. It's complete. They're going to be just short of the 1st down. We've got a flag on the play, and we've got an illegal receiver downfield, Andy. We've got a Monroe Central lineman downfield, and that's pretty easy because where he's walking back, he's still too far downfield. So a penalty, and again, penalties are hurting this team. The signal, I'm not sure if I read the signal right there, but it is an ineligible receiver downfield, as Andy picked up on very quickly. So what was going to bring up 4th down and about 3, a pickup of about 15 yards. John Rick will now re-enter the game as the center. If you didn't join us earlier, Chris Jeffers was injured when being blocked on a punt coverage on what appeared to be a clip. Monroe Central calls that timeout. I was not looking. But we have a timeout with 1:21 left in the 3rd quarter. Monroe Central looking at a 3rd and 23. Before we get away here, also I want to mention, on this Saturday night, the Monroe Central Lady Seminoles will be playing the sectional championship for volleyball over at Meadowbrook High School. They were winners Thursday night over at Union Local. I had the chance to attend that game along with Andy Shoemaker, who was there, and all the boys. You want to say hi to the boys? Do they watch? Hi to Andy's boys, but had to go watch sister play because Mom would never forgive you if you didn't. But the Seminoles will play Barnesville Saturday night at 7:15 at Meadowbrook High School for the sectional championship. The Lady Seminoles are 19-2. They've had just an outstanding season, and winning a game over Barnesville would put them in the district tournament. But Barnesville looked pretty good in beating St. Clairsville Thursday night also. So if you have that chance, a very nice crowd of Seminole fans over at Meadowbrook on Thursday night. Probably more Seminole fans than the other 3 schools that were there combined. 3rd down and 23. Ishii wants to throw. Pressured, missed the block, and number 50, I believe, is Jeremy Dye, makes the play. For a loss on the play of about 8 or 9 yards.
He came right up the gut. And the thing about it is, when your lineman missed and you got 2 running backs back there blocking, they were supposed to be there to pick him up, and neither one of them, Gabe or Aaron, didn't pick him up. So just tough play there on Josh.
4th and a mile. Seminoles a little trouble with personnel as they get ready to punt. Spielman in punt formation. Need a good one. It's blocked. Don Lutz at 6'6" making the play. It doesn't matter who recovers it over there. It's going to be Frontier's ball. We can hear the Frontier coaches on the far side of the roof of the press box. They're getting pretty excited over there. Don Lutz at 6'6", extending his body over top the blocker and making the block of the punt. First time this year that the Seminoles have had a punt blocked. It's something I've been a little concerned about all year because nobody's really put pressure on us, and with maybe a couple new people in on that line and a little bit of problem getting some personnel out there.
But really, that wasn't a bad snap.
No, the snap was not bad, and there would have been a new snapper in there. Didn't see who that was. It may have been Sam Miller.
Yeah, I think it was.
But Don Lutz coming from his defensive end possession, making the block. Cougars now in excellent field position at the Monroe Central 38-yard line. Mossberg to go to the air. He's going for Amos.
Intercepted.
And Josh Ishii returns the favor with an interception. The third Seminole interception of the night. Josh Ishii, who leads his team in interceptions, makes that play.
Nice play. Nice play, Josh.
That's a big play, Matt.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, Frontier had the momentum right there with that block punt, and basically I just broke their spirits right there by, intercepting that ball.
I'm going to do some quick looking here, but I believe that is Josh Ishii's 6th interception of the year.
I was going to say 5th or 6th.
Number 6 for Josh Ishii. So now the Seminoles will put the ball in play at their own 11-yard line. 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Gordon straight up the middle, going to get to the 15-yard line, about 4 yards, and that will take us to the end of period number 3. Score remaining the same as it's been since the middle of the first quarter. Monroe Central 14, Frontier nothing. We'll be right back with quarter number 4.
New name, same great service. Ormet Credit Union is now Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. Visit us in our new facility in Hannibal, built with more convenient parking and easier drive-through. If you live, work, or attend school in Belmont or Monroe counties, you are eligible for membership in the Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. To serve you better, we also have locations in St. Clairsville and Clarington. Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. Community is our middle name.
Hi, I'm Bill Respect. You heard me talk many times about how we offer you the best variety at the best possible price every day. And we do it with no cards, no gimmicks, no hassle. Just like you, we're working to get the most we can for the money we spend. So if these things are important to you, come home to Respects. We'll even add customer service as we continue what Grandma started over 70 years ago.
Okay, here we go. Fourth quarter. Monroe Central, still same score, 14-0 over Frontier Cougars. Monroe Central is having a big interception by Josh Ishii down around the, I want to say probably right around the 10-yard line after a block punt by the Frontier Cougars.
Ishii now under center. He'll toss to Brown, try to get the outside. He gets a little bit of hole, gets through there to the 30.
Nice stiff arm. Nice stiff arm.
1 man to beat. 40, 35-yard line. Big play. Aaron Brown. No flags.
I'll tell you, that's one heck of a stiff arm there by Aaron to spring that out around the end.
52 yards. And that's the big offensive play we've been looking for. This offense really has not had a lot of huge plays. I'm talking about those, 40-yard plus plays this year. They've been few and far between. But a 52-yard run by Aaron Brown now puts the offense in much more comfortable field position at the Frontier 33-yard line. That's now going to put Aaron Brown over 90 yards in this game. Gordon with a big hole off the left side. He's going to have close to 10 yards. They'll stop the clock to look at it. It's just short. Well, and they'll give Gordon 9 yards. 2nd and 1. Situation here looks like Monroe Central may just try to get the first down. Toss now the right side to Brown. And we get another flag behind the play. Again from the official. And he's going to call another holding penalty against Monroe Central. And again, that looks to be a little bit behind the play, Matt. And boy, that just really is upsetting from the coaching staff for a penalty to occur behind the play, because where that happened, that Aaron Brown didn't need that help. He had the first down. And this will cost the Noles a first down, bringing up 2nd down once again back at the 32-yard line. 2nd down and about 8. You know, every week we talk about the penalties, and you know, really penalties hurt us.
Penalties
for our only loss of the year, but it's really hurt us in putting away some people all year. We'll try Brownie back to the left side, trying to bounce the outside. A lot of hard work there and some punishment dealt out there for only about a 2-yard pickup to the 30-yard line. Aaron Brown, I think we don't realize too, a lot of people, how banged up Aaron Brown is. Shoulder's been bothering him a little bit. Injured a thumb last week at Barnesville that there was concern that it might be broken. But fortunately that was not the case. You know, so Aaron Brown, he showed that determination right there by lowering the shoulder to trying to fight for an extra yard. 3rd and 6. Ball at the 30. Sean Joris is in motion. Ishii, the shotgun, is going to try to run. Flag down again. Ishii
might be another holding call or a face mask.
Was stuffed there by the outside defensive player of Frontier. Coming from the line, Judge. Another holding call against Monroe Central. I am sure Frontier will decline this penalty. Loss on the play of about 7 yards. Bring up 4th down.
That's something we didn't need down here, Jeff.
It's been a while since I've seen this many holding calls in a game. And I think maybe Monroe Central is now going to punt as we see Ishii coming out. Sam Miller has taken over as the long snapper, which is normally a job done by Chris Jeffers, who has not come back after halftime with an injury. Good snap back to Spielman. He's going to angle to the sideline. The ball is going to hit and go to the end zone. Okay, from about that same position on the field, Spielman did a great job Monday night and knocked the ball out of bounds inside the 5-yard line, but not able to get the ball to bounce there. Frontier will now take over to their own 20-yard line. 9:27 left in the game. 14-0 in favor of Monroe Central. Now again, that was a pretty decent drive, really fueled by that one big run, but then bogging down because of a couple of penalties.
There's penalties, like I said, they'll kill you. You know, you got a good drive going, and they really hurt your momentum.
Defensively, now Seminoles taking over. Bouncing the outside is Benninger. He'll be pulled down by Gordon.
Nice tackle.
He's going to be near a first down, but that's a nice tackle by Gordon, as that could have went for an even bigger gain by Frontier. Second down and a yard. That's a good job of pursuit from that linebacker position and using your speed to make a play on a running back who has a little bit of quickness himself. Mossberg, who is shooking off 2 injuries tonight, gives the ball to his fullback, Reed. He fumbles the football. It's still on the ground, but I think the Cougars are going to get it back. And that's going to give them a first down. The ball was stripped out of Reed's hand.
Recovered by number 3, Austin Russell.
Big play for the Frontier side of the field there by getting on that ball. The fullback for Frontier, Reed, he's a junior, 250 pounds. He's now up around 50 yards in the game. Defense digs in now on this 1st and 10. Mossberg's going to give on the sweep to 44 Bannister.
Nice.
Good tackle by Ishii.
Nice
He comes
tackle,
up,
Josh.
makes
Nice
the tackle, and takes the ball carrier's shoe off in the process. Pickup of a yard. Vinegar now will have to put the shoe back on. I guess that literally is a shoestring tackle. As the officials stop play to let him get the shoe back on, but a good job of closing from the defensive back position there by Josh Ishii, who read run all the way, makes the play after a 1-yard pickup. Less than 8 minutes remaining in the game. 2nd and 9. Mossberg wants to throw. Tipped and caught. That is Smith, Logan Smith. Ball was deflected for an instant, but the receiver able to make the play. About a 6-yard pickup.
I tell you, Gordon coming in from his linebacker position did a pretty good job closing in on it, a quick pattern like that.
If he could have made that close just in a flash, just an instant earlier, he could have made that interception, but that was not the case. 3rd down and 3 for the Cougars. Ball rolling in again. The fullback, Reed, is going to be hit. Looks like Aaron Brown and Gordon making that play short of the 1st down.
Short by about a yard, Jeff.
4th down and a yard. I think it's a little easier to see probably on your TV screen than what it is by Matt and I right here with the fog once again rolling around here. Ball at the 45-yard line, 4th and 1. They'll give it to the fullback, Reed. I believe he was able to fall forward for that 1st down. Merrick and Sam Miller last up off the pile. Couple-yard pickup by Reed. One thing that Monroe Central has to their advantage here is the clock continues to move. Now it's 6 minutes, 10 seconds left in the game. 2-touchdown lead by Monroe Central. Mossberg wants to throw. Quick hitter to Lutz. That's going to be complete.
Flag on the play, Jeff.
There is a flag.
Might be defensive interference.
If the play stands, that's going to be a pickup of about 11 or 12 yards. It is an interference penalty, and that is declined, so it is a 1st down. Well, I'll tell you what, they declined that penalty. If Frontier, though, really, Matt, if they would take the penalty, the penalty would be 15 yards, but the gain was about 12, so I think they've reconsidered here. Now we'll see here as the officials talk for a minute. We'll get a re-signal, pass interference, and that'll be a 1st down, and they will take the 15-yard penalty rather than the completion, which gains them about 3 yards more of that. Takes the ball to the 27-yard line.
Well, they refused to call to begin with, Jeff. Now, then all of a sudden they changed their minds.
And I'm wondering if the official didn't just automatically do that. The first back through is Amos. Number 4, stopped for the center of the line.
By Gordon.
Gordon. Seems like we've called Gabe Gordon's line number quite a bit tonight. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Seminoles need to dig in once again. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left in the game. 14-0. Seems like every week this has been the case, the last 4 weeks in particular. Mossberg under center, wants to throw. Ball's off the hands of his intended receiver, Smith. That'll be 3rd and 10. And that ball just has to continue to be difficult to catch with the cold hands, wet. Ball is wet, hands are wet. McConnell checks out now on 3rd and 10. Extra defensive back end for the Seminoles. Ball at the 28-yard line. I'm sure Frontier 2 plays in order to get to 10 yards. Mossberg, short drop, coming back across the middle, incomplete behind his intended receiver, Amos. Joris was the defender. 4th down. Frontier a little slow getting the play in. They could be in danger of a delay penalty here. 4th and 10 at the 28. Mossberg once again under center. Thought they might use him in the shotgun some tonight, but they haven't. Frontier's going to call a timeout. They want to get the play right, and this will give the Seminole defense a chance to regroup also. 4 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the game. Monroe Central leading 14-0. On a very cool and damp night.
I think looks to me like the Monroe Central coaches are looking for a legal substitution because they did break the huddle and then brought another man in from the sidelines on that job.
I had stepped across there and was trying to look at Dale's monitor here to get a little clearer picture there, so I did not see all of that. But once you break with 12, if that was the case, that could be a penalty. Now, if they broke with 11 and just substituted late, I'm not sure of that. We're going to get a delay of game penalty there prior to the timeout. So I didn't see the flag on that, but we're going to get a delay penalty, and Frontier would appear to also going to be charged with a timeout. So this will help the Seminole defense a little bit more, make it 4th and 15. So now some late changes by the Cougars here as they have a man check out of the huddle. I believe that's their fullback Reed in favor of another receiver. They'll probably split people out here, and they're going to bring, looks like 3 and now 4 receivers wide to the right. They have 1 receiver wide to the left. People spread all over the place. Mossberg in the shotgun, going downfield. Incomplete. Brown is the defender against
No flag.
Smith, the intended receiver. No flag. Nice timing by Aaron Brown. Incomplete. The Monroe Central defense, once again, Matt, has held. And this group of young men has been tested way too many times this year, but they've come through on all but a couple situations this year when they've had to. So at 4:53 left in the game. Monroe Central will now try to eat up some clock. Now points are not really important. Gordon off the left side, going to drive forward for about 4 yards.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, Jeff, about Monroe Central defense. Holding up time and time again, but there's always that time where you wonder if this is going to be the time where they break, and so far this year, every game, really they haven't really broke that much.
Exactly. You can't expect them to put up a shutout every game. Brown to the right side, cuts back, 1st down. Aaron Brown across the 40. He's going to be near the 44-yard line.
That should probably put him close to about 100 yards, shouldn't it, Jeff?
Yes, it is. He's going to be at the 44, pickup of about 7 yards, and I do have Aaron Brown now over 100 yards. And as Andy points out, he stays in bounds on that far side, which is even better with his first down. Clock now under 4 minutes in the game. But Seminoles had a lot of first downs early. They've been fewer here in the last 3 quarters. This is Gordon. He's going to get another first down and some more yards. About 14 yards for Gordon, and that's another first down. That's going to get Gabe Gordon up in the neighborhood of 75 yards in the game. Clock now running as the officials, as they have all night, have signaled the ball ready for play very, very quickly in this game. 3.5 minutes left. The 42-yard line. Brown to the right side. I believe he's going to get another first down. Out of bounds. He's right at the first down marker. As they'll mark him out of bounds, we'll see what the signal is from the official. They're going to mark him just short. Second down and less than a yard. And that time Aaron did go out of bounds, but I don't think he had a choice in that as he was forced out of bounds. 3:16 left in the game. Gordon's going to get a first down at the 30. Pick up a 2, about 3 yards. And we're going to be about 3 minutes left in the game. The ball put right at the 30-yard line. Well, I feel a little more comfortable now, Matt, and maybe we did a little while ago. Looks like the Seminoles are going to go to 8-1 on the year, and this should put us, or does put us in position. I think a playoff berth is a definite, and next week will probably mean having the opportunity to play at home. Whistle prior to the snap. That comes from the back judge, and that means delay a game.
You'd like to see Monroe Central punch it in right here, though, Jeff. You know, score in the second half this late in the game.
And we mentioned next week, Bellsville will be here. Blue Devils 3-5 going into the game tonight against Buckeye Trail. That is a televised game replayed next week, Channel 9 game of the week, WBNV radio, which I'll move downstairs for that. So Matt and Andy will have the call for you next week. Pitch. Brown gets the outside near the 20-yard line. Aaron Brown's going to have another 15.
I'll tell you what, that was a nice block out there by Stephen Havig. Threw that block about 10 yards downfield, which gave Aaron an extra 10 yards on the run.
2:32 left now, and that is also a first down to the 18-yard line. So definitely the best offensive possession of the second half by Monroe Central.
Nice drive.
And probably the best, definitely the best offensive second half possession in the last couple of weeks. We'll try Brown on the sweep to the other side. Sidesteps a couple tacklers. He's going to be down near the 10.
Flag on the play.
And a late flag on the play. But that's a very late flag.
Might have been maybe unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct.
Face mask is going to be a call against Frontier. That's going to take the ball down inside the 5, or near the 5. Brownie continues to run up his best offensive game of the year. Ball right at the 5-yard line. Clock running now, 2:15 remaining. Fumble the football. And the Cougars are going to recover the ball. first turnover
Well, I tell you,
of the
Jeff,
night
bad
for Monroe
inning,
Central.
bad inning to a nice drive.
Well, that drive did take a lot of time off the clock. Points would have been outstanding. First turnover of the night by Monroe Central. They did have a punt blocked, which is the same as a turnover. With 2:06 left in the game, Frontier will now take over on their own 5-yard line. A long way to go. The Seminole defense will really tee off now against Mossberg. And you got to give Mossberg a lot of credit tonight. He's gutted it through a couple of injuries and is still under center. He'll give to his fullback. He'll get a short gain across the 5 to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Less than 2 minutes left in the game.
Well, I tell you, Jeff, with Monroe Central fumbling right there, that is, really it's a shot in the arm, for Monroe Central. Getting that close to scoring and then fumbling the ball. But like we said earlier, the ball is slick out there, with the weather conditions tonight.
Seminole defense now spread out a little bit because of 2 receivers. Mossberg hands it up the middle to Benniger. He's got some running room to the 30-yard line, still on his feet about the 32 where he's brought down. He's going to get about 25 yards and a first down. Crossing the Seminoles up there, I believe, with that run. Stopping the clock at 1:21. Now we'll see if the Cougars, as they go without a huddle, try to air it out a little bit. They'll send 3 receivers, now 4 receivers wide left, 1 to the right. Mossberg alone in the shotgun. Under pressure, ball's deflected and incomplete. I think it was Gordon that made the deflection up front. The ball bounced high in the air. Brown and Ishii back in the area where the ball came down, and I'm not sure if they saw the ball necessarily, but a good play by Gordon, who's played, as usual, a strong defensive game tonight, as have many Seminoles. 1:03 left, 2nd and 10. Frontiers had plenty of trouble throwing the ball tonight also. I have them 5 of 18. Cougars will go to 6-3 on the year with a must-win next week against St. Mary's. If they are to get into the playoffs, they'll need to win next week. Mossberg hands the ball up the middle. Now bouncing outside is Benniger. Frontier will spend a timeout with 55 seconds left. Pick up of a couple. Earlier in the game, Matt, we mentioned the Monroe Central JV team, currently undefeated on the year. I believe they're 7-0. They'll play their final game of the year at Frontier Monday night with a chance to complete a undefeated season. And I tell you, I haven't seen the home games here. I think Coach Greg Shoemaker and Coach Pat Singleton do an outstanding job getting a lot of kids involved in the game. Even a close, tough game as it was last week against Barnesville, they got a lot of kids involved at key times. A chance to complete an undefeated season on Monday night. The game will be at Frontier, but Coach Shoemaker and Coach Singleton deserve a lot of credit because, as you know, Matt, that JV team doesn't get a lot of work and practice as a group. They're busy as a scout team for the opponent, so they probably know the other team's plays better than their own, but they go out on Monday nights and have just done a great job. And best of luck to them.
That Monday night is basically their Friday night, when it comes to high school football.
4 receivers to the right for the Cougars. Shotgun. Mossberg's going to step up.
Intercepted by Gordon.
Gabe Gordon.
He's going to go. He's going to go.
Gabe Gordon, 10.
He's in.
Touchdown.
No
Gabe
flags.
Gordon, no flags. About 40 yards. And for the first time this year, the defense scores. Matt, they've done a great job. They've kept people out. Gabe Gordon, with 43 seconds left in the game, gets to the end zone on an interception return. I have to look at the replay, Matt. That's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 yards on that return.
Nice defensive play by Gabe Gordon, knocking it down and intercept it. And
I'll tell you what, Andy Shoemaker used to drop back in there like that and make that play all the time.
I can't remember that, but
there was a Shoemaker who used to do things like that from the linebacker spot.
I'm not
a
gonna
couple
say,
of them.
I'm not going to say which one it was.
Snap back, kick is low. Looked like Merrick hit the ball a little high. Curtis's kick is no good.
Yeah, we do have a new snapper in there, though, too, Jeff.
Exactly. Again, I don't know for sure. I didn't see whether John Rick snapped the ball or whether Sam Miller may have snapped it. But with 43 seconds left and the fall continues to close in, we were able to see Gabe Gordon take it to the house from 40 yards out for the interception. And I guess you could say Matty not only took it to the house, but he put it in the garage and parked it.
Exactly. Nice, like I said, nice defensive effort by Gabe, being in the right position at the right time and making a good play.
See, I finally worked that take it to the garage line in. Gabe's been after me all year, and he probably won't even see the replay of this now to even know that. But that kind of caps off a strong defensive effort by the Seminoles and also by Gabe Gordon in particular, as he's had his hands on a couple other passes in this game. And once he made that play, it was a sprint to the end zone, and Frontier really didn't have anybody there that could make that play. So with 43 seconds left, that takes it to 20-0. Monroe Central on their way to 8-1 on the season, and will play next week for hopeful home field in the first round of the playoffs. There are a couple games you can look for in your Saturday paper. Hope for losses by either Menford or Chesapeake here this week or next. That would give us that opportunity. Otherwise, we're going to have to travel, and those are some long trips if we finish 5th in the region. This will probably jump us into 4th, but lots can happen next week. Lutz is going to take a short kick, and somewhere in that fog down on the ground, Matt, Seminoles make the play. Joris and Seidler.
Yeah.
About the 44-yard line, 38 seconds left. I'm telling you, in all my years of attending games here, I have never seen fog come in here at Monroe Memorial Park on a Friday night.
It's good weather for a ball game.
And made much better by another win over the Frontier Cougars. You know, a lot's been said, among the players and some of the longtime fans here, the fact that Frontier has never beaten a Jaser Costa coach team at Monroe Central or Woodsfield. New quarterback is Lamp, a freshman. And Cougars are just going to run it out here. They'll give to Amos, pick up a yard. It's been a tough night for Frontier's leading rusher, Jake Amos, also. But the Cougars are just going to take this one to 0. It appears 18 seconds left, clock running. And the final score is going to be Monroe Central 20, Frontier nothing. Now less than 10 seconds. And it really makes no sense to have Mossberg in there, and it's a good move by the Cougar coaches, I think, to put someone else in. They'll give it to their up back, Reed. He'll get about 3 yards, and that will be it. And once again, Matt, maybe not the prettiest of wins. The crowd kind of sitting around in silence. But again, this is a win, folks, over a 6-2 ball club.
Exactly.
It kind of bothers me a little bit that some of our fans are not satisfied unless you're beating somebody by 30 and 40 points. You just beat a 6-2 club 20-0, and when you've got a couple of injuries of your own and had to bring some backup people in, and this is a big point game as far as the computer ratings, and taking us into next week's game against Bellsville. It's a very good win, but here we are probably a minute after the game's over. I think we're the only people talking, Matt.
Yeah, well, I tell you, the fans are used to seeing the big plays, the long runs. And, they didn't get to see a lot of that tonight except for that interception there by Gabe, and I want to see, from a fan's point of view, it might have been, in a way, kind of a boring game because there wasn't a lot of scoring.
Especially after the early parts of the game.
Yeah, but when you're looking at it from our point of view, it's a good win, it's a strong win, and it's a very strong win going into a rival game with Bellsville next week.
Yeah, I would wish Frontier luck next week. And hopefully that could be another PVC team and make it 3 PVC teams in the playoffs. Another thing I wanted to point out here earlier, Matt, and I didn't get a chance. Tonight, Monroe Central limits Frontier to about 30 yards passing. I looked in the stats today. defensively for the year, Monroe Central is giving up only about 60 yards a game passing, and that's exceptional.
Yeah,
Well,
tremendous.
there's at least 4 quarterbacks that we've played against this year that are already over 1,000 yards passing. So they've done some great work against some excellent quarterbacks. And it looks to me that at the end of the year, we will probably have played against 6 quarterbacks that have 1,000 yards passing. And through 9 weeks, our defense has just been brilliant against the run and the pass.
Strong defense. Like they always said, good defense is the best offense.
Exactly.
And apparently that showed, very well here tonight.
Well, as the fog moves in even heavier, as you see the players leave the field down by the teepee, and again, as I look at the monitor here, I think the fog doesn't show quite as much on your TV screen as what it does here in person, but if we were still playing down, Matt, it would be a little hard to see the field. But so we're going to wrap things up, but we'll never find our way off this press box and this fog. Next week, Bellsville, here at Monroe Memorial Park, as the Seminoles play for a home field and the first round of the playoffs. This final score on this Friday night is Monroe Central 20, Frontier nothing. We'll see you next week.
Good night.